Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here with a brand new video talking about the best horror movies that you can stream for free on Tubi. Tubi is a free streaming app. Now this video is not sponsored or anything like that. This is just, I want to do some videos like going through like the streaming services, and I figured this would be a good one to start with since this one is free. And you guys can watch this one on your TV through like the app on your TV. You guys can go to like the App Store on your TV and download it. I'm sure it's on Roku as well, like in the Roku store. You guys can watch it through your phone. You guys can watch it on the computer, and it's also totally free, so there's no like, you don't have to like sign up for anything to watch it or anything like that. It does have like a couple ads at the beginning, and some of them might have like ads a couple times throughout, kind of like with Hulu. If you have like the streaming service Hulu and you have the one that has ads, it's kind of like that, but I don't think it's as many as Hulu. But on here there's we're going to go through all the horror stuff, and there's a whole bunch of like, mainstream known horror movies, a lot of really cool indie horror movies. We're going to go across the stuff and go kind of off the cuff and just kind of scroll across the list and see the kind of stuff we come across, and I'm going to kind of talk about the movies and let you guys know what I thought of them, and some of the ones I say, would say are definitely worth checking out, and all that kind of stuff. And let me know too other kind of ones of these kind of streaming ones you like me to do. But I'm definitely going to do one like for Hulu, one for Netflix, Amazon Prime, and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, for now, I'm going to start with the Tubi one. And so get ready for the Tubi streaming video off the cuff. We're going to scroll across the movies and see what we come across. Alright, so we're going to go pretty much off the cuff here and just go through it and see all the kind of stuff that we come across. Like I said, this app, though, is totally free. You guys can watch this one through your phone. You guys can watch this on the computer. But, of course, now we're watching it through the TV's app. And the TV app, you guys can go like to the App Store on your TV and download the Tubi app. But we'll go through here, and like I said, we're just going to kind of go through this off the cuff. And I'll let you guys know some of the ones that I've seen, some of the ones I'd recommend to check out. But we scroll down here through horror, but they have all sorts of different sections here, like thrillers, dramas, recommended ones, comedy, so lots and lots of stuff. And you'll see as we go through how many horror movies are on here. A lot of indie movies, and then a lot of like stuff like Sleepaway Camp 2. So there's a bunch of different stuff on here. But like I said, we're just going to go across this stuff, and there's also some things on here that are like exclusives. Like this one here, I believe this one just went on here, Tonight She Comes, like a horror movie. I think this one might also be on like Vudu as well, but I believe this one is like the only place to watch this one for free, and it's a brand new one is on here. But like, for example, like I Spit on Your Grave 2. That was not honestly a bad movie. I thought that was actually a pretty decent film, but when it comes to like the sequels and everything. With like, for example, though, with these ones, you can also, just like with Netflix, you can add these to your queue. So if there's any of them that I come across that you guys want to save or things like that, all you got to do is go to add to queue. But yeah, I think you do have to sign in to do that, so you guys can make an account on there for free. But also though, if you start to play a movie, then it will go into like your recently watched. So that's another way. If you don't want to make an account, you can just kind of play it, and then then it will kind of be added to your the same way essentially. But like I said, we're gonna go through all this stuff here, and I'll let you guys know ones that I've seen. They have the original Spit on Your Grave remake here, which was not a bad remake. If you guys want to watch something that me and Danny Sinistalker both act in, Restricted Area is on here as well. So that's one. Me and Danny are at the beginning of this film. There's a couple of different ones that I'm acting on here. I think like Fat Planet is on here. This is one that I need to watch. Everyone was kind of telling me about this one, and I remember when I was at like a used store, I missed on buying this one. I think it's out of print, this movie here called The Canyon. People were telling me it was kind of like a Hills Have Eyes kind of movie. Like I said, I've never watched that one. This movie here is pretty good, with Ryan Reynolds' voices, when he kind of believes he's hearing voices and his like dog is talking to him, and like kind of everything goes haywire in his life. It was actually a really different kind of role for him. Like kind of a more serious role, but then like with like goofy stuff as well. But this is one I would definitely recommend. And on here though, this one here, Disturbing Behavior, a Katie Holmes movie with Nick Stahl. This is one, if you guys have never watched this, definitely check this out, about like kind of like a Stepford Wives kind of movie set at a school, and it's basically like weird, like the kids that are kind of like the bad kids of the school, all of a sudden like something is being done to them, and they kind of become like the perfect kids and like aren't doing anything bad, and there's like almost like something has gone wrong to them. I always really liked that movie. Let's see here. This is a really underrated movie here called the Triangle. And I always love movies that are like on set on boats and that kind of stuff. And this one is like Melissa George's character who like is like stuck on like a yacht trip and gets on like this weird deserted cruise ship in the middle of nowhere, and it's like somebody like coming after her on there. It's actually a really, really good movie. Definitely recommend you guys check that one out. Let's see. You're Next, a great slasher movie if you guys have not seen that one. Frozen, which is, you know, from the director, you know, of Hatchet, Adam Green's movie. This is basically a group of people who go on a ski lift right when they're about to close, and they find themselves trapped on the ski lift. And it's kind of like what they're going to do and how they're going to, you know, get off of that. They have some of the Saw movies on here, like Saw II. A Clown was a really good one about a guy who gets his face, you know, gets this like clown mask, and the clown mask kind of gets stuck to him with his clown suit. Kind of like The Haunted Mask almost, but like an R-rated thing, like version of The Haunted Mask. Let's see, of course, like Sleepy Hollow. That's a pretty good movie. Not my all-time favorite Tim Burton movie, but I always did really like that one. And as you see, though, there's like a mixture of indie movies and then like some cool ones on here too, like you know, really cool indie ones, lesser known ones, and then like stuff like The Relic, which is a great movie about like this weird at a museum. There's some kind of a creature in the museum going after people. This is like always kind of reminded me a little bit of the movie Mimic. It kind of had, like I always would kind of mix them up a slight bit because they had like a similar kind of vibe. They were made around the same time. I think Mimic though was I liked Mimic a little bit better. Some of the Paranormal Activity movies are on here. Annabelle, The Midnight Meat Train, which is like an early Bradley Cooper movie with Vinnie Jones, and this is, you know, based on the Clive Barker story about like a killer who's on a subway train going after people. Another one I would recommend you guys check out on here. Like I said, there's actually a lot of stuff on here. Like, really surprising the amount of movies that are on this. Rob Zombie's 31 is on here. That's, you know, that one I would recommend. What Lies Beneath. This one is actually not even on Blu-ray. This only has a DVD of this. And I remember this one, really, one of those movies that I have only ever really watched once. And it's a Robert Zemeckis movie, and it's like, I don't think he ever did any other horror movies, at least that I can think of. Like straightforward horror movies, and this was actually, it kind of felt like something M. Night Shyamalan would direct, because it had some like, you know, twist stuff to it, and there was some actually like a really, really strong scare in this movie that I remember really creeping me out bad back in the day when I saw it. Like I said, I had not watched that movie in years. Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh, which I don't know if that's the third movie or the second movie. I can't remember for sure. But then like stuff on here like Return of the Living Dead, which is like an absolute must watch, like probably one of my top favorite horror movies of all time. Like, if you guys have never seen Return of the Living Dead, it's like a comedy zombie film, but like an absolute must-watch. I hope, though, the way I'm doing this is a good way to do it, guys. Like I said, I figured just going across this like this and kind of like talking about my take on them, you know, if I've seen them and what I've thought. Like I said, as you see, there's a lot on here. Let's see, Creepshow II is a must-watch anthology horror film. It's one of those ones, too, if you guys have never seen the first Creepshow, it doesn't matter. It's its own thing. You know, but if you haven't seen it, though, definitely check it out, though. But this one has a great segment on here with people who go out on this, you know, in the middle of a lake and, you know, stop on this raft out in the middle of this lake, and there's like some kind of a goo creature underneath the raft, and it's a great, like one of my favorite segments, you know, anthology horror segments. Killer Klowns from Outer Space, a really fun, you know, comedy horror film about these goofy killer clowns that come from outer space and are killing people and turning people, they have like a gun that turns people into cotton candy, and they drink people from the cotton candy. It's a really wacky, ridiculous movie. Kind of has vibes of like The Blob a little bit. Let's see. I see another one on here which is really, really good. They have some massive horror on here. Is this like the whole series on here? Or is this... Oh yeah, so it has all the episodes. That's really cool. All the episodes of Massive Horror on here. So that's definitely really cool. Better Watch Out, which is a really like kind of like a Home Alone kind of like home invasion kind of movie, Home Alone kind of vibe. And both the main actors in here, you know, right around the same time, both acted together in the movie The Visit. So it was kind of funny, both of them together. And this one around the same time. I believe Don't Hang Up I remember really liking, about a group of people that were like doing a messing around with like a phone, and then the person kind of came after them. Let's see. The Collector, that was a really good one. here, which I'd recommend. Like, I haven't watched this in a long time. I can't believe it was 2008. I totally forgot that was that long ago. I think they're making a third one now, but it was like people trapped in this house. Kind of had the vibe of Saw, a little like a Saw kind of vibe, a little bit. Let's see. Killer Mermaid. This is one I remember really liking. About people going to this island. They build like abandoned like military island, and they come across this mermaid on there. Kind of has like a throwback kind of vibe, like a 70s kind of film to this one. Let's see. Backwoods, like a Haley Duff horror movie, which is not bad. Like Sleepaway Camp, which is like a must-watch. Sleepaway Camp, you know, like probably one of my top favorite slasher movies with starring Felissa Rose. This is definitely one if you guys have never seen that. And if you see too, they're all through like, some of these are through different kind of like channels. Like this is through Shout Factory. So Shout Factory has their own channel on here. This one here, Open Grave. This was actually pretty good. This has the main actor who was in, you know, stuff like District 9. I never know how to say his name correctly, but he's like in this one. But this is actually a pretty interesting one here. Let's see, Last Shift. I remember liking that one. A goofy Jim Carrey comedy horror movie here, Once Bitten. That was one that I'd recommend you guys check out if you guys want to watch more of a comedy horror film. And they have on here Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is like, you know, an absolute must-watch, and it's mastered in 4K on here. You guys, it's one of those ones, if you guys have never seen that, like absolutely, like one you have got to check out. As like I said, there's a lot of things on here. Phantasm, a really great movie. My favorite of all of them. Like the sequels I thought were fun, but the first movie was such a strong movie. Like the whole story, the music in it I love so much. That one is like such a great movie. Let's see here. Trying to see ones that I know I've seen on here. Grizzly was like a killer bear movie on here. This one I remember liking. This one, like the facility or the faculty, their facility. This one was like I think it was like, I've only watched this once, but I remember they were doing like drug treatments on people, and then like they were kind of trapped in this kind of old kind of like abandoned type hospital. See, Red Mist. I think I remember liking that one. This is a really good movie that kind of like inspired the film Ghost Ship, about a people like on this old like abandoned ship that they come across like in the middle of the ocean. But like I said, it has that vibe of like Ghost Ship, but of course this was first. So if Ghost Ship was kind of like inspired definitely by this one. All Hallows Eve, which was what the movie that it was, you know, inspired the movie. Why am I totally blanking on that one right now? You know, totally blanking. Why am I blanking on that? Terrifier was the movie, you know, the if you want to see the character from Terrifier, this was like the anthology film where the character appeared in first. Let's see here. Cube Zero, which was the third film in the Cube series. I don't know if all the Cube movies are in here or not, but Cube Zero was kind of like, you kind of saw like more behind the scenes of the Cube and kind of how it all came to be. Some Kind of Hate, that's one other one that I remember liking here. I think it was like kids that go to like a reform school kind of place, and then like one of them gets possessed. And let's see here. The Stepfather, a really great movie about, you know, they made a remake of that one as well. This one stars Terry O'Quinn, but it was like this, you know, basically the stepfather is like up to no good, and he's like this killer. Let's see, they have Poltergeist 3 on here. Of course, like they do have the first Cube movie on here. This is a great movie though, about people that wake up in this weird type cube type thing, and they have to try and like navigate and figure out how they're going to get out of there. And then like if they go in the wrong room, they'll get like into a trap that will kill them. This is like one of my favorites. Let's see, Wolf Creek 2 is on here, An American Werewolf in Paris, which I always kind of liked. You know, it's not the greatest or anything, but I always did kind of like it. A movie on Jeremy Renner, which is, you know, on Jeffrey Dahmer, early Jeremy Renner film that he played Jeffrey Dahmer. Another one of my favorites on here, Ginger Snaps. They made 2 sequels to this one. One of them was a prequel, but this was a great, you know, werewolf coming-of-age film, which one of my other favorite movies. Children of the Corn, really fun movie. This is a movie that I always really liked. It's not perfect, but Flowers in the Attic, with the early Christy Swanson film about a group of the kids that go with their mother because their father had died and they kind of don't have any money, so they end up moving in with their grandmother they'd never met before, and the grandmother for some reason doesn't like these kids, and the grandfather can't know about them at all, so they have to hide them in the attic, and it's like horrible what goes on. They made Lifetime remake of that one. Sleepaway Camp 2 is on here, which I really like. Out of the 2 sequels though, out of Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 that would start Pamela Springsteen, the second one was the best. They actually filmed the second and third the same exact time, but I don't know, the third one I don't love that much. Gacy, which stars Mark Halton, who played Francis in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, playing John Wayne Gacy, and this is actually a pretty good. There's a lot of these serial killer horror movies on here. Hellraiser, if you guys have never watched Hellraiser, amazing, crazy movie. Always really love that one. Like I said, there's a lot of great free stuff on here. Sleepaway Camp 3 is on here. House, which is a really fun comedy horror movie, on here. Let's see, Afterlife with Christina Ricci. She basically is like pronounced dead, but then wakes up in a funeral home, and it's like Liam Neeson playing the funeral director. This is a really good one you don't hear about too often. Hatchet's on here, a great slasher film, and they made like I think 3 sequels to that one on here. Stepfather 3. I don't know how Christmas in Compton got put in the horror section. That's very strange. That's a comedy movie. Chain Letter, which I think that was all right. Nothing like amazing. VHS is another great anthology horror film. Let's see here. I'm trying to go across because there's a lot. Like I said, there's a ton on here. Return of the Living Dead Part 3, which is, I always really love that one. And it's another one, if you guys have never seen the the first movie, that they're all their own thing. And this one was probably the best of the sequels, I would say. Let's see, Day of the Dead is on here, which is another, absolute must-watch. Probably my top favorite of all time zombie movie. There's something about the whole concept of this one. It's all stuck, takes place in an underground bunker. And it's just kind of about, like, kind of like everything that goes on in society going on in this bunker, but where it all falls apart down there. Let's see here. Invaders from Mars, which is a Tobe Hooper movie here, which is, I always really loved this one as a kid. Let's see, Slumber Party Massacre is on here, a great slasher film with Brinke Stevens in here. If you guys have never seen that one, that's a really fun, horror slasher comedy. Let's see, Cabin Fever Patient Zero, which was the third Cabin Fever movie, which is I actually kind of liked it. Sean Astin's in this movie, and it's people that go on this like island, and the cabin fever virus attacks them on the island. It's like a flesh-eating virus. Elvira movie is on here. This is a really fun, movie. The Elvira movie. If you guys have never seen that one, that's another. If you guys want more of a comedy film, let's see. This one was like a rideshare killer movie. They made a lot of these different rideshare killer movies. This one I remember thinking was actually pretty decent. American Mary. The Soska Sisters movie with Catherine Isabelle, who is, stars in, Ginger Snaps films as well. This is a really underrated movie, which stars Jeremy Sisto, who was in, stuff like, starred in, 6 Feet Under. And this is like a found footage, but one of like probably the most effective found footage movies about this crazy somebody who ends up, basically when a family is away on vacation, when they get, he ends up like taking their car and going into their house and figuring out where they live, and he kind of hides in the house and it's kind of lurking around and spying on them and everything. Let's see here. Mountain of the Cannibal God, that's a one of the cannibal films. And I know on here too, I think Cannibal Holocaust or Ferox was on here, I believe. With all streaming things, sometimes things are on here at one point and then sometimes they leave. So it's, you never know for sure like how long they'll be on here. But this is all like what's on here right at the moment now. Let's see. Like I said, a lot of indie horror movies, and then like mixed in are like more known horror movies, but there's some really cool indie ones. This one was kind of cool, like a summer camp where people are all kind of going crazy. The one actor in here, Diego Boneta, was in like the new Terminator film. He was in the first season of Scream Queens. Let's see, this one on here, I don't watch this one. This one, The End, some kind of like an elevator movie from 2016. I definitely have not seen this one. Like I said, there's a lot of ones when you go through here that you come across that are really interesting stuff. Suspiria, probably my favorite Dario Argento movie. You know, if you guys have never seen that one about a girl who goes to a like a ballet academy, and it's like witches and everything, and weird certain things happen. Definitely one you guys have got to watch. Eaten Alive. So that is one of the cannibal movies that's on here. Let's see, Camp. I don't know that movie. Trying not to miss anything. Here's another one that's really good about this girl that kidnaps this boy that she likes, and it's like basically it's like kind of her secret crush and stuff, and things go horribly wrong, and it's just her kind of going crazy and like torturing this guy. Let's see. So let's just keep going here. Dog Soldiers. That's another really good one about like these soldiers out in the middle of the woods, and there's like a kind of like a werewolf kind of creature after them. That was actually really good. High Tension. This one I have not watched in so long. The director of this did the Hills Have Eyes remake, and then, you know, most recently the movie Crawl. This was actually a really good one here. Backwoods with Gary Oldman, I remember liking. Same with this one here, with Abigail Breslin, that Tyler Shields directed, with Wes Bentley and Abigail Breslin, called Final Girl. It's like basically she gets like taken out to the woods by these guys, Abigail Breslin's character, and like they're hunting after her and everything. Let's see, Dagon. This is a really good movie based on H.P. Lovecraft story about people that get to this abandoned fishing village, and then like it's like these kind of like fish creatures on the island and everything. It's really strange, really creepy movie. Let's see. Prom Night, another really fun slasher film with, you know, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. And Ginger Snaps Back. That was the prequel to Ginger Snaps, which was actually like set like in the 1800s or something like that. This one here is such an underrated movie. I've talked about this in the past. This movie that stars Ray Wise and Lynn Shay, about a group of this family who are going on this trip, and they're kind of driving, and kind of they get stuck in like in the middle of nowhere, and they keep driving and driving and driving. They keep looping around in circles, and they're like trying to figure out how they're going to get out of here. They keep seeing the same things, and crazier things they come across. But this is one definitely 100% must watch. Really love that movie. Sacrament, which was directed by Ty West, which was kind of like the Jonestown, like cult group, is kind of like that, and like done found footage style. Ginger Snaps 2 is on here. Jack Frost, which is a really fun killer snowman movie. You know, it's the early, I forget who was the one who was like her early movie in there from American Pie. Sometimes I blank on things, and I'm kind of like I said, doing it off the cuff, so sometimes I blank on names. Maniac Cop 2. I don't know if the first Maniac Cop is on here. Bad Moon, which was a werewolf movie that starred Mason Gamble, who played Dennis in the Dennis the Menace movie from '94. Let's see here. The Stuff, which is a Larry Cohen movie about like some kind of like this yogurt type stuff which is coming out of the ground, and like someone tastes it and they love it, and it becomes like they start mass marketing this yogurt, but there's something really bad about the stuff, and it's like doing bad things to people and like controlling them and stuff. Black Christmas is on here, the original Black Christmas, a really great, early slasher film directed by Bob Clark, who, of course, directed, Christmas Story. So it's kind of funny how he did like that and then made Christmas Story, which is like a real known, like, family Christmas movie, and then he did before that this Christmas slasher movie. The Chud, which is an early, John Hurd, Daniel Stern movie about like a killer something or other that's like chuds that live in the in the sewers of New York, and they're like investigating it. ABCs of Death, which was like a anthology movie with like everything was like went through each letter in an alphabet, and then people died in that way. Let's see, Train, which is a movie with Thora Birch, which I really love. Like I said, movies set on trains and one location and stuff, and this was like something weird was going on this train. But this is actually not bad. I actually always like that one. Let's see here. This is not great. If you guys want to watch something horrible, watch this. Day of the Dead 2 Contagion. That's not good though. Let's see. Here, Silent Predators. Is that like a 70s movie? 99. I guess that was like a sci-fi movie. Funhouse Massacre, that was not bad. People that go to like a fun house and are getting attacked. The Nurse, which is a pastel horror film, which I remember kind of liking this one. The Hoarder, which I like because this was all set in a storage center with starring Mishka Barton, and it was just kind of like in the storage center that people were trapped in there. Let's see. Like I said, there is a lot. Now, this is one of those movies that I've talked about so much. I need to watch this on here. It's out of print and really hard to find, called Mikey. And this has the kid who was in Blank Check in it. But this is a great, like, kind of crazy, killer, bad kid movie. Basket Case is on a dentist. That movie creeps me out, though. Any movies that deal with dentists always really creep me out. And this one doesn't have a Blu-ray release in the U.S. This is one of the Return of the Living Dead sequels, the later ones. Zombievers, which is like Killer Beavers, which is actually a pretty fun movie. Basket Case, I really like on here. As you see, we've gone through over 500 on here now. I'll keep going through it for a little longer, but as you see, there is a lot of stuff on here to check out. And I hope you guys are finding some more interesting stuff to check out on here. Clint Howard movie, Mr. Ice Cream Man, a really fun, goofy, crazy killer ice cream man movie. And Clint Howard plays the ice cream man in this movie. Let's see, Parents, a movie with Randy Quaid. And, which I really like. And it's kind of done, it's set in the 50s and has this real kitschy kind of weird vibe to it about these parents. And there's something really up to no good about them. Let's see, any other interesting ones we come across on here. The Initiation, this was one that was like, for like a sorority initiation, like a woman goes to kind of like this weird mall kind of place. And like she's kind of, weird things are happening during this mall. And it's like a weird kind of like, not exactly a mall, it's like a weird building that they actually shot it in. Like an interesting kind of location. Waxwork, with it, which stars, Zach Galligan from the Gremlins films, about friends that go into this wax museum and like weird things happen to them in there. This one is a Danielle Harris movie I really liked. With her, she wakes up in this abandoned hospital. And she's kind of trapped in there, and people are coming after, something's coming after her, and she keeps like living the same time over and over and over again. Kind of Groundhog Day-ish kind of vibe in films for that one, but I remember really liking that one. This was not that great, this particular Hellraiser one. This was the one from 2011. I don't remember liking that too much. The newer Hellraiser movie, though, I liked a lot better. This is another one. You guys know me. If you've seen my videos, I love movies set in malls. And this one is set, shopping mall, set in a mall, and people go and, break in at night or go in at night. And they have these new high-tech, like, robots that are kind of patrolling the mall. And they're all coming after them, and they have to try and survive. Body Bags, the movie with John Carpenter film, the anthology film and Tobe Hooper directed as well. Really great anthology movie. My favorite one on here was the one set at the gas station. That was my favorite story on that one. Let's see. 2001 Maniacs. That was a really fun remake that Tim Sullivan directed and Robert Englund was the star of. Let's see. Keep going across all this stuff. Like I said, we've now gone to almost 700 on here. So there's a ton of stuff on here. Killer Crocodile. Let's see. Nobody Gets Out Alive. I think I remember liking that one. This is the new Hellraiser movie. This one I liked a lot better. I thought this one was actually worth watching. This one here, too, was another one I really liked, starring Amanda Weiss. And, like, she's, like, lives with her father, and her father is this really abusive guy, and he's, like, controlling and crazy, and it's like he's, like, driving her absolutely nuts. And if you guys like this video, I'll do ones, too, going through some of the other ones, like the comedy sections and that kind of stuff. But I thought, like, for this one, though, it would be interesting just to go through the horror ones and just kind of, like I said, go off the cuff and then kind of talk about them. Kind of the way it would be if I was in a store or something, picking things up and kind of, like, telling my take on them and everything. This is one I've talked about a lot, too, starring Mina Savari, directed by Stuart Gordon, who is the director, of course, of Reanimator. And this one was, like, Mina Savari's character hits somebody with her car, and she ends up, she doesn't, he gets stuck in the window of the car. It was a windshield of the car. It was a real true thing that happened, and she won't let him out. She won't, because she's afraid she's going to get, like, arrested and stuff. So she, like, leaves him alive, and they're trapped, and he's trying to get out. It's, like, it's an insane movie. So let's see. We'll keep going through here. Also, if you want another movie, if you guys want to see me in it, Haunting a Whaley House. I'm at the beginning of this movie. This is directed by Jose Prendes. I didn't even know that was on here. So that's in the beginning of that one. Killer Crocodile is on here. Rave Party Massacre. I think I remember reviewing that one. Clown Motel. I'll be acting in Clown Motel 2 soon. That got delayed because of everything going on, but I'll be in the sequel to this one. Let's see. Alright, so we'll keep going here. We'll go for a little longer because it seems like I said, it's never ending. So there's over 800 horror movies on here. So there is a ton of stuff to watch. This one, Devil's Whisper, I remember liking that one. Clown of the Dead. This was a crazy killer clown movie. I think it was in Malaysia it was shot, or Indonesia. I can't remember which one. Maybe it was Indonesia. But it was this crazy, really creepy killer clown movie. I remember liking. Saturday the 14th on here. This was a fun, like, parody spoof film on here. This is like a TV Hammer series, so that's cool. That's cool, too. There's a lot of TV series on here if you look through as well. Let's see. Cannibal Ferox. So yeah, I was right. There was one of the Cannibal films on here. Cannibal Ferox. I really like that one a lot. Dead Time Stories was another anthology one. First Person Shooter. I don't know that one. What is that one from? 2018. I think, like I said, there's some stuff on here that I don't think has DVD releases or Blu-ray releases or anything, like exclusive stuff. So there's a lot of really interesting things on here when you scroll through all this stuff. Last Resort. I don't remember liking that one. This is one I still need to watch. This one, Pledges, that I bought a long time ago and never got to watch. So I need to look at that one. Let's see. I like this movie, Tourist Trap. It's a very, it's shot so dark, it's kind of hard to see some of this movie. But it's a, people that go to, like, this tourist trap. And I feel like it's another one of those movies that, like, for this one, I feel like it inspired, like, stuff like, House of a Thousand Corpses and that kind of stuff. It had that sort of vibe to it a little bit. Let's see, one of the John Rowland films, Shivers of the Vampires. I don't know if there's any more of his movies on here or not. Let's keep going through here. There is a lot on here, like I said. And some things on here that are not horror, like Jack and Diane. Like that's definitely not a horror movie, a Juno Temple movie. I don't know how long this goes. Like, I don't know how many are on here. This is the Stage Fright. It was kind of thought of as a remake, but it really wasn't a remake. It was just kind of a musical version of Stage Fright. Sort of. No, not exactly similar at all to the original one. Let's see. Gothic, which was a Ken Russell movie that I really liked on here. May. This is another top recommendation here. Stars Angela Bates. This is directed by Lucky McKee, and this is basically, she's this real awkward girl, and, like, she's trying to find, like, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and she's, like, just acting really weird. This is a really early Anna Faris movie. I think she did this like right around the same time, maybe a year or so after, Scary Movie. This is one I actually never watched with Goldberg, Santa Slay, so I need to watch that one. Let's keep going through here. We'll go through a little more because it's like, it seems like it would go forever on here. Night of the Living Dead, the original on here. Ghoulies 3. I don't know if any other Ghoulies ones are on here. What is that one? The Night Watchman. This was actually pretty good. This is another one that doesn't have a US DVD or Blu-ray release. Tiffany Shepis has a cameo in this one. People that are in, like, a kind of office warehouse kind of building. There is, like, a vampire that gets loose in there and, like, coming after people. Let's see. Death Watch. This is one you never hear anyone talk about. It was set, like, in the trenches, like a horror movie in this abandoned trenches. I had not seen this one in years, but I remember really liking this one a lot. And some of these ones, too, if you guys, like, search the titles, you guys can search and see on my channel if there's, like, reviews of them up, like, when I talk more in detail about them. Let's see, we'll keep going for a little longer, but this is going to be like a 40-minute video, but it definitely, hopefully it gives you guys some ideas with this one. Like I said, I'm going to do more ones, like, do the thing like this for Netflix. But Netflix, so you can't, it's not as categorized exactly the same, so you can't see all the horror like this. Sometimes it kind of limits some of them that you see, and you have to kind of search. On here, this is the third Reanimator movie, Beyond Reanimator. It's all set in a prison. And this is another one I thought was actually a really good sequel. Let's see on here. We'll keep going. Dark Ride, that was one that stars the one who, from Patrick Renna from, The Big Green, and you know, I'm totally blanking on the baseball movie. I don't know why I'm blanking. Sometimes I totally like blank. Let's see. But that was like it set at an abandoned ride, and they get kind of trapped in there. This is Cannibal the Musical, which is Matt Stone and Trey Parker's, you know, early movie they did before South Park and everything, which is a musical cannibal story, which actually has some really fun music in it. Like, and you could tell like that it was like it had the same kind of vibe to you know, South Park. You could tell like they were gonna go. Let's see, Jack Goes Home. That was a pretty good one, newer film. And there's a bunch of the Puppet Masters, because Full Moon has their own channel on here, so a lot of different Full Moon films are on here. Let's keep going here. Like I said, we've got a lot to look at. Friend Request on here. I think that's a newer one. I've not seen that one. Let's see. Keep going. We'll keep going. Our Darling, that was one that I really liked a lot. This was like the third film in like the series, because it was Offspring, then The Woman, and then Darling. This one, Pollyanna McIntosh, she plays the woman. She was the director on this one. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably going to be like I said, like a 40-minute video of me going across all this stuff. Like I said, I hope you guys like the way I'm doing this. I figured this is like the best way to kind of talk about them and you know, and give you like an idea and everything. Carnival of Souls. This is like an outstanding, you know, early you know, black and white film from '62. And it was all set at this abandoned carnival, and the woman is like seeing all these weird visions of things. Really, really great movie. Amityville 3D. The Graveyard. Haunters. This is like a documentary on haunted houses, which is really good. Sometimes they come back again. I don't know if the first sometimes they come back again. Sometimes they come back as on there or not. Satan's Little Helper. This one was from Jeff Lieberman, who directed, you know, Blue Sunshine and Squirm. And this is like a really pretty good horror movie. Kind of has like a vibe of like an R-rated Goosebumps, like the kind of feel to it. We'll keep going here. Uncle Sam on here. Let's see. Brain Dead. This is like set at a you know, you know, a trailer park, and it was kind of like these redneck zombies coming after people in the trailer park. Clint Howard movie on here, Evil Speak. This was like one that he's like a military school, and like he like brings back like a demon kind of thing through his computer. Let's keep going here. Prom Night 2, which is like a standalone prom night movie, which was actually really, really good. So they have a bunch of the Elviras on here. Like Elvira, like, were these the newer ones? Yeah, these are the ones when Elvira came back on TV in 2014. Igor and the Lunatics. I've never watched this one. I don't think I have, unless it's a different title. So like I said, there's some really obscure stuff. Peter Jackson's early movie on here, Bad Taste, which is a fun movie. It's from '87. Dead and Buried. Alice, Sweet Alice. This is a must-watch on here. Definitely one, you know, early Brooke Shields movie. And like the basically though, the Brooke Shields character gets killed in the beginning of the movie, and her sister's kind of like, they're looked at it like she could have something to do with it, and it's kind of has like a Don't Look Now kind of vibe to it a little bit. Another Clint Howard movie with one of my favorite lines of him in it. It's like these kids that go like on a the forum score kids go on like a hike in the middle of the woods, and there's like these killer ticks out there, and it's like an early Seth Green movie. But it you know, like I said, Clint Howard's character has this great line when he gets attacked by a tick, and he's like, "I'm infested." Yeah. Pet Shop, which is not a horror one. I don't know how that got on there. House on Sorority Row, which is funny. When I lived in Maryland, I was like really close to the house where they shot this. I used to drive by it like all the time and always saw it. We'll keep going here. So yeah, like I said, we're over 1,400, which is insane how many free things are on here. There are so many movies on here. We'll keep going though. Like I said, I don't know when the end is. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't. So hopefully me going across this for you guys will give you like an idea, like so you guys can search the ones. Phenomenon, you know, with Jennifer Connelly that Dario Argento directed. This one I love, and I also really love the music in it. But it deals with like this crazy monkey that you never think of like a monkey the same with what happens with this monkey in this movie. Reanimator, Bride of Reanimators on here. Some of the like other Amityvilles. Oh, I didn't know this one was on here. Another one that I acted in, Death Pool. So that's pretty cool. That's on here. I play like this weird, like porn star guy, and I have a really interesting scene in this one. So yeah, I totally did not know that was on there. Class of 1999 Part 2. So this one I don't even think has a DVD release or anything. I don't believe so. I don't think so. So that like there is some seriously obscure stuff that you'll come across on here. Dead End Drive-In. This is the one I've talked about so much in the past. This is another absolute must-watch about people that go into this drive-in, and this guy goes on there on his date and gets like trapped in there, and he can't leave the drive-in. He has to try and figure out how he's going to get away. That one I really like. All right, so yeah, we've now over 1,500. Another one that I acted in, Devil's Domain. So that was when I play like a bully in this one. Let's see. The Monitor. This was one, a Naomi Rapace movie, where she like starts hearing these weird things over the baby monitor in the house. This one I remember liking too. Who's Watching Oliver? This was in I can't remember where they shot this, but it was basically this guy who was like crazy and like he was like kidnapping women and all sorts of nuts stuff going on. But as you guys can see, there's a huge mixture of things. This is another one that doesn't have a Blu-ray release. Return to Horror High. This was a really fun. Was this one? Yeah, they were filming like an indie horror movie at this school where some people had been killed before, and of course now they're all starting to get killed there themselves. Dead Heat. That was a really really fun movie. You know, with Trent Williams and Joe Piscopo. Let's see, I'm trying to go a little faster since we've gone through so much. I did not know there was this many on here because I've never scrolled all the way down here. Silent Night, Deadly Night 4. Was this the one that Bill Moseley was in? This one has Clint Howard. I don't know if Bill Moseley was in that one or the next one after this. Society, which is one which is like a movie starring Billy Warlock and Brian Yuzna directed this one. This is an insane movie. This kind of go into this one not knowing too much, but it is amazing movie. It is so weird though what happens at the end in it. Let's see, we'll keep going here. I don't know what. Oh, here's another one, another movie. This one, if you guys want to watch something with me, I'm in the main characters in this one throughout the whole movie. People that go into a character goes into a high school to kind of try and change the grades, and we get trapped in there, and like the high school is like possessed, and you know it brings back the old headmaster and everything. So that's really cool. There's another one I'm in here, like in this one as well. Real quick thing I filmed. This crazy Tiny Tim movie. With him as like a killer. There's a lot of like Coolduder movies down this way near the end. I saw the Sasquatch. This is like the first movie, like no, the second movie I ever did. This one was me as like a Bigfoot hunter in this one. So that's kind of funny. It says 2015. This was not 2015. This was 2008 that was filmed. Let's see. Neon Maniacs is one that I really love. These crazy like things that come from under a bridge, and it's just a nuts movie. They come after and like, start attacking people and everything. Let's see. Where we were going far down here, and over 1,600 still going. I don't know when the end is. I would love to see it just say you've seen them all now. You know what I mean? Let's see. I'm pretty sure we'll have to be getting to the end soon. Unless there's like, 5,000 or something. Like, who knows? Slaughter High, which was a great slasher movie set in a high school, like a revenge one. I always love The Mask in this one as well. This is a great slasher one here. Let's see. This was a documentary on, the making of Texas Chainsaw Massacre from like the 80s. This was a really pretty good documentary. Waxwork 2, which I didn't like as much as the first one, but still did like that one. Let's see. Like I said, we're trying to go quicker just because there's so much. Edna's Dead Mother, which was a movie with, Steve Buscemi. And this is like his mother dies, comes back to life. It's more of a comedy horror one, but really fun. movie. Blood Rage. This is one you always got to watch around Thanksgiving. About this guy and his twin brother, and his twin brother kills somebody in the beginning of the movie in a drive-in and goes to the nut house, and he comes out of the nut house, and once he gets out, he starts attacking and killing people, and it's got amazing music, and the mother character in here was nuts, and she was like on the ground, in the kitchen, like eating like stuffing. It was cold. It's such a, like, no other word for it but bonkers. It is a insane, ridiculous movie. We'll keep going here. Adam Rifkin's director's cut. This one, you can see me in here real quick in like the strip club scene. That was like, I did that right around when I started losing the weight. One of the Camp Blood movies is on here. I think there's actually quite a few other Camp Bloods on here. Another one of these, Sometimes They Come Back for More. So maybe that was the first Sometimes They Come Back. The Barn, that was a pretty good movie. We may have to stop because I don't want this video to be so long trying to go through all of them. But I wanted to try and get to the end. But like I said, I don't know if it will come. I don't know how many are on here. I never knew for sure how long it goes. We'll go a little longer. We'll go for like 5 more minutes, and then it'll be like a 50-some minute video. But hopefully you guys are getting some ideas, though, you know, with ones to check out and everything on here. But I don't want to miss anything. Camp Dread, which was another Daniel Harris movie with Eric Roberts, and like a summer camp, people are getting killed. Mountaintop Motel Massacre, that was like a crazy woman that was like killing people that stayed at this hotel. Kind of had like sort of a Motel Hell kind of vibe, a little bit. Wasn't as good though. Deathbed, The Bed That Eats. This is about a killer bed. That one I always really like. It's a really goofy movie. Chud 2, which was like a standalone Chud movie. You don't have to see the other one. It was Bud the Chud. Return of the Killer Tomatoes, which was like an early, George Clooney movie. And I think that was probably my favorite of all of those. Dark Web. Let's see, Jack Frost 2 is on here. Mirror. This one I always really liked. And the main actress in here kind of reminded me a little bit of Winona Ryder. The Mutilator, that was a great slasher movie. You guys have never seen that one. That's a really good one. Chillerama, the anthology one. You can see me in a wet movie in this one, in the one segment when they're like watching, in Adam Rifkin's segment when they're all looking at the TV. That was like one of the first things I ever did when I moved out to LA. Or moved out to California, or the first thing I did, when I moved out here and did in LA. Let's see. We'll keep going a little longer. Got like I'm gonna go. I thought we almost hit the end. We didn't. So as you see, though, if you guys are looking for horror movies, though, there is so much stuff on here. I have to try and remember where I get to and stop because it looks like it's just gonna keep going. Microwave Massacre. That's a really good goofy one. Slugs. This is one I liked. It was John Carl Buechler movie, Miner's Massacre. It's one of those kind of like so bad it's good kind of movies about people going to like an old mine and like a killer miner that's coming after them. But I did really like that one. I saw that one years and years ago on like HBO or something like that. Let's see. We'll keep going a little more. We have like a little over 2 more minutes before we've done over 50 minutes. And I'm like, okay, we've done enough. But like I said, wanted to give you a lot of ideas. Here's one of the Camp Blood 4, which is directed by Dustin Ferguson. I don't know if 5 is on here as well, but you guys can see me in this one as well, like a little cameo thing I filmed for that one. This one I really liked. I always like movies that are about making films and on film sets and this kind of stuff. This was about filmmakers shooting in a abandoned hospital and like these zombie kind of things kind of coming after them and killing them. This is another one I didn't know was on here. Me and Wet Movie are both in this one as well. This is before our weight loss, called Toxic Tutu. We're in this one. Let's see. Keep going across. A little more. This one I liked, Citadel. This was a kind of like an abandoned big building. I remember really liking this one. I don't remember how to explain it too well, but I remember liking that one. The Incubus was pretty good. The Intruder, just like he says, you keep going. There's just like really cool stuff that you come across. Intruder was all set inside of a grocery store with a killer in there. That one I really like. That's the one you guys have got to watch. 60 Seconds to Die. Me and Danny filmed a little anthology segment in that one, because it was like all these different deaths that took place over a minute. You know, in a minute's time span. This is another movie directed by Bob Clark. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. This one, they go into a graveyard, and then they do a ritual and bring back like this zombie kind of thing, and it brings back the dead, and it's like a nightmare. Really cool movie, though. Let's see. Hellhole, that was like a crazy prison movie. Eaten Alive, which is a Tobe Hooper movie with, that I remember really liking. Freddy Krueger was in here. I'm sorry I'm blanking on some names a little bit. I don't know why. I think it's like going through all this stuff. I'm thinking, Robert Englund. I think it's thinking about all this stuff, going across so many ones on here. Let's see. Now this is a different President's Day. This is not the one that I acted in. It's another one called President's Day. The same title. See, somehow this got in the horror section. Fat Planet. This is one, if you guys want to watch something when I was really heavy, Brendan has a cameo as well, but I'm in throughout this whole thing. It's like a seriously goofy movie. Like probably one of the goofiest movies I ever have done anything in. So I think we probably have gone across enough for now. I'll remember I'm at 2,500 if I come back around to look. But as you see, there is so many different options on here. And if you just keep going, you come across more and more stuff like Dead Pit, which was another really good one. So there's so much stuff on here. And definitely hope this video gave you guys some ideas of things to check out. So anyway though guys, that's all for this video, and also let me know though in the comments below, since we didn't go through all the movies, I'm sure there were some interesting ones that I missed, going across, because like I said, I don't know how many it goes through. If any of you guys go through and look at all of them, let me know how many in total horror movies there are, because it seems like there's definitely a lot. And let me know though too, any ones below which you guys would say people should check out, the must-watch ones, maybe some that I missed going across that you guys would say like would definitely be ones I should watch. Anyway though guys, thanks so much for watching and subscribing. Like I say too, if you guys enjoyed these videos and want me to do more ones like this, definitely give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys later.